Some really surprising news just dropped out of the Apex Legends and esports scene that a lot of fans of gaming are going to be really shocked about. And it's something that some of us saw coming for a while, but no one expected it this soon, especially right after Apex Legends Global Series World Champs. As you guys know, Year 3 just closed, and that also marks the closing of NRG in the Apex Legends scene. You can see here from @NRGGG. Today, we are announcing our departure from Apex Legends. Thank you to both our players and creators, both past and present, for joining us on an incredible journey. We competed with the best Apex has to offer, and we wish everyone great success in the future. This also was announced via Sweet on NRG's roster, coming out with a video. He kind of teased that there was a big announcement coming, and this ended up being it. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But as well, we can see here, this is not the first one. NRG is officially exiting Apex Legends esports. Another one bites the dust. So this is not the first time. We are seeing several orgs leave the scene of Apex Legends. Most of it coming from one key factor that we're going to talk about near the end of this video. So stick around. There's more to talk about. But I want to mention just a little bit this video that Sweet Dreams went ahead and posted on Twitter. He's got a little audio book. He's kind of reading through his scene. If you want to pause the video, you can read it yourself, or you can go check out his own tweet where he will read it to you, very audiobook style. But he mentioned the fact that a big problem here is that there's no sort of revenue sharing between organizations and Apex Legends, and it's mainly an EA problem. It's an EA problem. It's not a new EA problem, and it's something that has plagued Apex Legends. And that's why he mentioned legacy orgs such as G2, Liquid, Cloud9, and now NRG have all made the same decision. There are underlying issues with EA, and there's less than ideal tournament performance from NRG's perspective. They decided that with no bad blood, it was time for them to leave. And unfortunately, that means NRG is out. Now, NRG is a big org. They've been participating in so many tournaments, so many things. And Sweet Dreams is arguably the second most popular player in Apex Legends, period. Whenever he streams, and he doesn't stream all the time as much anymore, but he was a huge draw, used to be one of the biggest Apex Legends streamers. And it was always a debate between who was better between Imperial Hal and Sweet Dreams. Hal since then has kind of taken that role, and NRG, Sweet, and his team, they haven't done as well in recent tournaments, and that's why you saw the rise of Zero and the Dark Zero roster kind of replace NRG as the gold standard for who can compete with TSM. But for a long time, it was NRG. And it's really sad to see that now kind of coming downhill with their performance, they're also realizing, hey, we're downhill as an org in our finances. It's time to get out. We can't afford to pay for this roster anymore, be in this scene. And some orgs can actually afford to be in this scene, but they won't do it again because of EA's failures, essentially, for revenue sharing. We know that they had some skins kind of teased where they were going to be team skins, but they never released those skins because the orgs and EA couldn't come to an agreement on what percentage of the profits from these team bundle skins, like an NRG Octane skin, a TSM Valkyrie skin, things like that. EA didn't want to part with any of the money. And because of that, orgs are deciding to leave, and it's stranding pro players and leaving us more and more in a grassroots situation where it's very possible that ALGS doesn't last very long in the future because orgs are going to keep pulling out. As you can see here, this is not just a getting rid of the roster. You can see Bike Age. He is the NRG kind of roster manager type person. He's confirming, with the release of our team, I can also confirm that NRG will not be fielding a roster for ALGS going forward. We feel EA/Respawn have not done enough to support orgs and made the tough call to take a step back. I did want to take some time to thank the following people for making Apex a very special part of NRG history over the years. And then he lists everyone that was on NRG and all of the content creators as well. And NRG has been a huge part of Apex Legends from the very beginning. Dizzy and ACU, honestly, two of the biggest names in Apex, and two of them, Dizzy, first off, he's like an urban legend. He doesn't even play the game hardly anymore. He was the biggest star in Apex at the very, very beginning. ACU as well. He stuck with it a little bit longer, but these two were huge NRG players. They were big in the competitive scene. They were massive streaming. They were probably the biggest players out there before Imperial Hal really took the reins of competitive. It was Dizzy and ACU. Then you can see all the different players that were involved in the rosters and in the coaching for the NRG roster. You got Nathan, Rocker, Frex, Moore, Sweet Dreams, Gildersons. You got some coaching down here. And then content creators like Lulu Lovely, T-Treb, which is Rogue, Aprizzi, and IRL Baby Nikki. These are big content creators. This is not a small thing. And those of us that were reading the tea leaves could see that this might actually have been happening because they had been parting ways slowly but surely with some of their content creators over time. As you guys might know, ACU is actually now on the Sentinels payroll. Rogue is actually Liquid Rogue now. He is no longer NRG Rogue. So they've been slowly parting ways with Apex because they've realized that they don't want to work with EA anymore, which is unbelievable to have some of the biggest names in gaming, the biggest stars, and the people that can really put together massive audiences be driven away because they don't want to do any sort of revenue sharing, which to me, maybe they've got some kind of math that shows that revenue sharing means they'll get less revenue. But in my mind, it's the best publicity you can possibly get. And it's not like you're paying them for the publicity. You're just getting less of the money they're going to bring in for you. So it's kind of goofy stuff. I've never really understood it. The scary part about this is we've mentioned the fact that others have already left the scene, but that might not be all. Jay Miles, who makes a lot of videos about competitive Apex Legends, he talks about, like the behind the scenes stuff quite a bit. He's probably a pretty good source for this, and he has tweeted out, rumor, I have heard, not confirmed, that NRG is not the only team leaving Apex Esports. Stay tuned in the coming weeks. And the rumored teams are FaZe, 100 Thieves, and a few more. So these are not small orgs. These are big name, well-known organizations that are thinking about leaving Apex Legends as well. And the reason this might be fair to assume is because we know Jay Miles is friends with players on those rosters. People like Snipedown for FaZe. He's well-versed with people like Nicewig, with 100 Thieves, players, Scurry perhaps. You know that he's got these interactions with people he can talk to and hear these types of rumors. So he's not confirming anything, but this is a heck of a person to get a rumor from. Maybe it's just Twitter clickbait. I don't know, but it could be a very real thing that other orgs are leaving. And other orgs have left in the past and continuing to leave now. The last remaining legacy team from the original Apex Legends era, TSM, they just tweeted this out on their main page. I just blanked on what show that is. That's embarrassing. I know the name of the show. Someone will say it in the comments. But we got Liquid, Cloud9, G2, NRG, and TSM. And now all that's left. Very sad. TSM, the only ones remaining. Very, very sad to see that some story organizations came to what's arguably the best battle royale out there in the competitive gaming scene. But the orgs don't want to stay involved because the developer is just horrendous to work with. If you scroll down a little bit further, Sweet had a great meme. It's EA here. It's, am I so out of touch? No, it's the gamers who are wrong. And yet again, we see some stubbornness coming out of EA. This is not new information to anyone that's seen this type of deal before. EA continues to be very difficult to work with, and we're seeing players and the scene as a whole suffer. I don't know what it will take for EA to figure it out, but with declining popularity of the game, declining popularity of the game's content, and now declining support from big esports orgs, I wonder where the wake-up call is going to happen, or if EA will ever hear it, or if the game will slip into irrelevance. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This is shocking news. I don't think many people are expecting this today, but it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.